CJ Kirst was one of the most dominant players in 2023, finishing as a Tewaarton finalist. Last year, he led the country with 4.33 goals per game and ended up with 65 goals in the season. The Ivy League Player of the Year seems to always have a way to get open or get a shot off with a stick in his hands. I would argue that he is the best change of direction out of any player in the country. In his 2 years playing at Cornell, he took his team to the national championship and an NCAA tournament spot last year. Coming into the 2024 season, Cornell is ranked number 7 in preseason rankings, partly due to CJ Kirst. Looking through his film convinced me that he will win the Tewaarton in 2024. To prove this point, I'm going to break down some of his best highlights to show how good he really is. His first clip is one of the most ridiculous goals I've ever seen. CJ splits under, creating a large amount of space between him and his defender. This draws 2 slides from the Syracuse defense because he's such a threat. Seeing these slides, he hits a ridiculously efficient rollback with a 1-foot deceleration and then the roll. As he rolls, he's already loading up a shot and wraps around the short stick D mid and bounces it high. The bouncer sends the goalie to his knees, leaving the top shelf wide open. This clip is so impressive because of his awareness of the slides, his efficiency on the rollback, and his ability to shoot around his defender. This next clip is a similar showcase of his rollback. He dodges Makar down the alley, and as he sees Makar's stick transfer over his body, he rolls at the same time. Again, he's able to go from full speed to a rollback all within 1 step. He gets a good amount of separation so he can load up a little more than his last clip, and he lets it rip off stick side high. Here's another example of CJ being able to navigate a slide coming and uses it as an opportunity. He dodges under against a short stick D mid and begins to lose his angle. To counteract this, he rolls back with his stick in a shooting position. As he's about to pull his shot, he sees the slide coming in topside and has the discipline to hold the shot and instead come into a toe drag. This works so well because the motion of a toe drag has a similar motion to an underhand shot. So throughout the entire dodge, it looks like he's going to shoot. He creates a ridiculous amount of space and is able to increase his angle as he dives at the cage. Another subtlety is how he finishes with his stick in front of his face to avoid the trail check coming from behind. CJ here continues to destroy Rutgers with this dodge through his body language. He dodges towards a pick, causing his defender to get hung up. The short stick D mid doesn't want to switch because it's such a mismatch. This causes the pull of the trail behind, giving CJ open hands. Generally, a slide would come here, but CJ keeps his body high and facing towards the middle of the field like he's going to feed. This leaves the other pulls not seeing him as a shooting threat. At the last second, he switches hands and finishes 5-hole. Again against Rutgers, CJ showcases his ability to not just score, but be able to feed. He dodges from the top, initiating the contact. This allows him to control the dodge and leaves the pole just reacting. Nearly instantly as he makes contact, he rolls off, causing his defender to fall backwards with his momentum. This creates huge separation with CJ sweeping across the top. This literally draws every defender on the field forward because it's unclear who the slide is because he took the top side. Also, since CJ came out of that roll in a shooting position, everyone respects him as a shooter. He then elevates and hits his teammate on the backside. CJ showcases his ability to manipulate a slide again in this dodge. CJ dodges down the alley and is covered pretty well, but since he's such a threat, the slide comes firing in. It looks as though CJ is going to fall over, but somehow he senses the slide coming and goes from falling to rolling back. The slide sees this rollback and shifts his trajectory towards the top side. CJ senses this change and instead of fully rolling, he throws a rocker step, sending both the defenders to the top side. With this space, he continues down the alley and leans low, sending the goalie to his knees, and he finishes high. CJ not only has elite change of direction, but he also has a high top end speed. From behind, he attacks the pick, trying to hang up his defender. The pull has to go under and is put in a trail position. At some point, it becomes a foot race to the goal with the pull having an advantage, being able to run through the crease. Still, CJ has too much separation and a faster top end speed and is able to climb up the field, further increasing his angle on the goal. By climbing up the field, it doesn't even give the pole a chance to catch up. If he were to increase his angle by coming in front of the goal, the pole could have closed out the space. This dodge has a lot of subtle things. Kirst comes down the alley at probably 70% speed and is fully covered. He high steps to play with his defender, making him trail a little more because he anticipates a rollback. He gains a little bit of space with this and sends his slide hedging. To play with the slide, he slows down again like he's going to roll back, making him less a threat. This freezes the slide and again makes the defender sit back and hesitate. Seeing the slide frozen, he guns it to the goal and finishes. I've been showcasing Kirst's ability to dodge for the most part, but he's also deadly catching and shooting. Here he posts up top with a stick in a shooting position, and as soon as the ball touches his stick, he's already in a shooting motion. This is one of Kirst's greatest strengths, being able to instantly shoot whether it's off a pass or a dodge. Here's another clip of Kirst having that sixth sense. As soon as he catches this ball in front of him, he feels a short stick D-mid flying at him. Since the defender is moving so fast, all he needs is a little hitch to send him flying. Out of the roll, he is again in a shooting position and feels that same defender recover and a separate pole diving in front of him. Both of these factors prompt him to send a fake, sending both of them flying. He then has open hands for a time and room shot. Kirst is such a presence around the field that allows him to not just be a goal scorer. In this play, Kirst climbs up the field and leans back and elevates like he's going to take a jump shot. This does two things. The defender is now moving towards him, putting him at a disadvantage. This shooting posture also sends two Syracuse poles to slide, leaving multiple Cornell players open. Kirst then easily dishes up top for the finish. From CJ Kirst's game, there's a couple of key takeaways you should leave with. First, elite change of direction makes you an elite player. This comes from years of plyometrics, cone drills, and just hard work. Secondly, something you don't need years to implement is how you use your body language. Kirst does an amazing job of using his body language to look like a shooter or to deceive his defender into not looking like a dodger. Pairing this with change of speed can be deadly when you're dodging. Kirst's last skill that separates him is always being in a shooting position out of a rollback. Nearly every rollback he throws, it looks like he's going to shoot. This either sends the defense sliding to him or rips a shot into the goal. I'm excited to watch CJ Kirst in the 2024 season, and I have a good feeling he's going to rack some awards in. To continue to get better, keep watching film breakdowns like these. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe.